3 strands of Galadriel's hair were given to Gimli.
I asked her for one hair from her golden head. She gave me 3.
It looked like a funny moment at first, but if you start to dig deeper into the history of Middle-earth, you'll see that there is a lot more to it. More than you can imagine. It even changes the future of elves and dwarfs. So let's go and start the video. When the Fellowship left the woods of Lorien, they all got a gift from Galadriel. Legolas was given a bow of the Galadrim. Sam got some elven rope and a silver seed from the Malorn tree. Frodo got a phial with the light of Eärendil's star. To give more notice to Gimli's gift, I'm going to read you a passage from the Book of the Fellowship of the Ring.
And what would the dwarf ask of the elves?
None, lady. It is enough for me to have seen the Lady of the Galadrim and to have heard her gentle words.
Yet surely, Gimli, son of Glóin, you desire something that I could give. Name it, I bid you.
There is nothing, Lady Galadriel. Nothing unless it is permitted to ask, nay, to name a single strand of your hair, which surpasses the gold of the earth as the stars surpass the gems of the mine. I do not ask for such a gift, but you commanded me to name my desire.
It is said that the skill of the dwarfs is in their hands rather than in their tongues. Yet this is not true of Gimli, for none have ever made to me a request so bold and yet so courteous. And how shall I refuse, since I commanded him to speak? But tell me, what would you do with such a gift?
Treasure it, lady, in memory of your words to me at our first meeting. And if I ever return to the smithies of my home, it shall be set in an imperishable crystal to be an heirloom of my house, and a pledge of good between the mountain and the wood, until the end of days.
Then the lady unbraided one of her long tresses and cut off 3 golden hairs and laid them on Gimli's hand. These words shall go with the gift. I do not foretell, for all foretelling is now in vain. On the one hand lies darkness, and on the other only hope. But if hope should not fail, then I say to you, Gimli, son of Glóin, that your hand shall flow with gold, and yet over you gold shall have no dominion.
Gimli was amazed by her beauty and her golden hair and found it more beautiful than all the gold in the world. This was such a pivotal moment because it was from this point in time that Gimli's opinion changed drastically about the elves. He was an elf friend and would never say a bad thing about them. His friendship with Legolas was drastically grown. He would do everything for him, and Legolas would do everything for Gimli.
I thought I'd die fighting side by side with an elf.
What about side by side with a friend?
I could do that.
Because of their friendship and the change of heart that Gimli had about the elves, he sailed together with Legolas to Valinor in the year 120 of the Fourth Age. The first and only dwarf who was permitted to go into the west. And all of this started with his visit to Lothlorien, where he saw the fair Lady Galadriel. It is said that the people who entered the forest never returned the same. And that is also true for Gimli, because when he entered he was blindfolded and he hated the elves. But when he left, he gained much respect from the elves and he respected them likewise. When Éomer spoke ill of the Lady of the Woods, Gimli stepped in and insulted him for even thinking this of such a fair lady. Éomer was astonished by the dwarf who defended an elf. But what makes the hair of Galadriel so special? Why was Gimli so marveled by it? Well, Galadriel was born in Valinor during the years of the trees. It was said that the light of the 2 trees of Valinor were captured in her tresses. The light of the 2 trees was both marvelous and enchanting to look at. That is why the Silmarils were so beautiful to look at too. They were created by Feanor, who used the light of the 2 trees to make the Silmarils. That is why Melkor wanted these stones for himself. He was enchanted by them. And that same light shone from the hair of Galadriel. That is why Gimli was so enchanted by her hair, why he thought that it was more beautiful than all the gold in the world. But there is another reason why this was such an important moment during the history of Middle-earth. During the years of the trees, Feanor was enchanted by her hair as well. He asked 3 times for a strand of hair. but Galadriel refused this each time. It is believed that because of this refusal, Feanor started with the creation of the Silmarils by capturing the light of the two trees into these three gems. The same light that was captured in the hair of Galadriel. So when Gimli asked for one strand of hair, she gave 3 strands to him, which is so beautiful since she refused the same question from Feanor, an elf and her uncle, before he unleashed his terrible self. The gift that was given to Gimli during the Lord of the Rings was such a pivotal moment for both elves and dwarves, and of great importance to the history of Middle-earth. Another pivotal moment during the history of Middle-earth is a battle between Gandalf the Grey and Durin's Bane. This particular moment transformed Gandalf into Gandalf the White. I have a whole video that covers this topic, where I not only explain the transformation but also who brought him back and what new powers and abilities does Gandalf have. So I'll see you all here in the next video.